Same product, two prices. The ethics and mechanics of testing offers on different audiences. Testing $27 on Instagram and $37 on email feels sneaky until you know the one rule that keeps it fair. Here's a scenario that happens constantly and almost nobody talks about out loud. A creator sells the same Notion template for $27 to a cold Instagram audience and $37 to their email list, or runs a TikTok link at one price while the same product sits at a different price on their main storefront. The moment you say it plainly, it sounds like a scam. But peel back the discomfort, and you'll find this is just price testing with a traffic source variable added, something retailers, airlines, and SaaS companies do every single day. The difference between smart segmentation and getting caught ripping people off isn't the tactic itself. It's whether anyone who paid more can ever find out and feel foolish about it. Get that one thing right, and the rest is just math. Why this feels wrong, and why it usually isn't. Airlines have run this playbook for decades. The same seat costs different amounts depending on when you booked, which device you used, and how the algorithm reads your intent. Nobody calls that fraud because everybody accepts the seat's price was never fixed. Digital creators have more moral high ground with their audience than an airline does, which is exactly why the reaction to price testing feels sharper. Your buyer thinks of you as a person, not a yield management system. That's precisely why the rule matters. Test all you want, but never let the same person, on the same link, discover they paid more than someone else for the identical thing at the identical moment. The good news is you don't need a shady dual checkout setup to do this responsibly. Most of the legitimate ways to test price by audience are already built into how a storefront like store.fan works. Different links for different platforms, discount codes tied to specific campaigns, and time-boxed launch pricing that changes for everyone at the same moment rather than for one segment quietly. The one rule that keeps it fair. The rule: never run two live prices for the exact same product, on the exact same link, at the exact same time, where a real customer could plausibly discover both. If a buyer could screenshot two prices for one link and post them side by side, you've crossed from testing into deception. Everything else downstream follows from that one sentence. It means you separate by time, test price A this week, price B next week, never simultaneously on the same link. By bundle. The $27 version is template only, the $37 version includes a bonus walkthrough. They're technically different products. Or by channel with a real reason, a launch week discount code shared only in your email, versus full price on your public store fan page that anyone can land on from any platform. What you don't do is quietly hard code a higher price into your Instagram link and a lower one into your TikTok link for the identical product with no visible justification, hoping the two audiences never compare notes. That's the version that ends up as a viral, "Look what this creator did to me" post. 4 legitimate ways to test, ranked by risk. Notice the pattern. The safe methods all have a visible, explainable reason a customer would accept if you told them directly. You bought during launch week, and you had a discount code, are things people say to friends without flinching. I showed different people different prices for the same thing with no explanation is not. How to actually run the test on store.fan. If you haven't yet, create your store and set up the product you want to test. It takes a few minutes, and every plan lets you list a product and start selling. Once your product page is live, here's a clean sequence for a channel test that respects the one rule above. Set your true, standing price on the product page. This is the price anyone landing organically will see, so make it one you're comfortable defending publicly. Create a discount code reserved for a specific channel or moment, a first 48 hours code for your email list, or a link in my story code for Instagram followers. Set an expiration date or a redemption cap on the code so the test has a clear end. open-ended discounts stop being tests and start being your real price. Track each code's conversions separately using your customer list so you can see which price actually moved more units, not just which one felt better. Pick a winner within 1 or 2 weeks and retire the losing price everywhere. Don't let two versions linger side by side indefinitely. This works because a discount code is inherently self-explaining. Nobody who redeems Welcome 10 feels tricked when a stranger pays full price later. They got a deal, and deals expiring is expected. Compare that to a buyer discovering the checkout itself charges different base prices depending on referral source with zero code involved. That's the setup that generates screenshots and DMs asking, "Wait, why did I pay more?" Only one price is live on your public store fan link at any given moment. Any price difference is explained by a visible code, bundle, or clearly dated launch window. The test has a defined end date, not an indefinite "we'll see." You're prepared to honor the lower price for anyone who feels misled, refund or credit the difference. No argument. You're tracking results somewhere so the test actually produces a decision, not just vibes. A discount feels like a gift. A hidden markup feels like a betrayal. Same price gap, opposite reaction. The only variable is whether the buyer could have seen it coming. What to do when someone notices? Even a well-run test occasionally surfaces an awkward DM. Someone compares notes with a friend and finds a $10 gap. Handle it the way you'd want handled if the roles were reversed. Acknowledge it, explain the launch window or code, and offer to match the lower price without being asked twice. It costs you one refund, and it converts a trust risk into proof you run an honest shop. If you're unsure how to handle a specific edge case, contact support. And if you want to see how a real, transparent storefront presents pricing, a live example store is worth a look. Why bother testing at all? It's tempting to skip all this and just pick a price forever. But creators who never test are leaving money on one side or losing sales on the other, and never find out which. A $10 gap tested honestly across two real cohorts. Your warm email list versus cold Instagram traffic tells you something concrete. Maybe your email audience trusts you enough to pay a premium, or maybe cold traffic needs a lower entry point before they'll say yes to anything. Either answer is only learnable by testing, not guessing. That's the point, not to squeeze more out of anyone, but to find the price each relationship can honestly support. This is also where a proper storefront setup pays for itself. Discount codes, a customer list you can segment by how someone found you, and clean product pages that update everywhere at once are standard tools on store.fan. And they're what make an honest version of this test possible in the first place. Check the pricing page to see which plan covers discount codes and customer tracking for your stage. And if you're new to any of this, the FAQ covers the mechanics of setting up codes and tracking sales in more detail. Key takeaways. Charging different audiences different prices is normal business practice. The ethical line is discoverability, not the price gap itself. The safest version of this test uses genuinely different channels, bundles, or timing so no single buyer sees two prices for one identical purchase. Never let two live prices for the identical link coexist, where a customer could screenshot and compare them. Discount codes and time-limited launch pricing are the built-in, non-sneaky way to do this on store.fan. Document your test window and pick a winner fast. A permanent two-tier secret price is where trust actually breaks. Start your creator store free at store.fan.